Hey guys, my name's Chris. You may have bumped into me in Scott's man cave once or twice. There he is.
I was trying to do it right. Damn it, I screwed it up. I was trying to do more like.
See, and it came out wrong. Why does it come out wrong? It feels so
All right,
weird.
I'll count it down. That might help out. 5, 4,
Okay.
3.
Hey guys, my name's Chris. You may have, that guy you occasionally stumble on.
Hey.
Damn it!
Hey, I know. Here, I got an idea.
I told you I was
Just move
gonna
your
mess
mouth,
that up.
okay? Just like your
I don't-
what do you call it? The puppet thing. Hello everyone, it's me, Chris. You know that guy that you occasionally stumble across here on. I forget. I'm looking into the lens, so I don't know how it turned out. I don't know that first time where the squeaking of the chairs might work. Oh, he's still moving his mouth.
you want me to stop? I was still going.
Maybe you'll have the bloopers on that. You know what, Chris?
Oh, God.
I don't know what. I just lost my train of thought. Yes, it is me, Scott. That's right. I'm occasionally here on YouTube. There's been times Chris has hanged out with me here on YouTube on this channel. But the thing of it is, we have our own YouTube channel now. It's Meet Us in the Man Cave. I've been doing whatever I can to let you guys know, hey, check it out on Instagram. Check it out on, yes, even Facebook. I've been doing my best to just do whatever I can to promote. And I thought, well, you know what? Some of my followers over here may not know about that. So I thought, you know what? Why don't we do a little self-promotion here? Meet Us in the Man Cave over here at the bar downstairs, or whatever the hell I call this YouTube channel. I don't know anymore.
Promise it's fun over there, guys. We're just trying to have fun. I promise.
It is.
Swear.
Chris came up actually with the title of Meet Us in the Man Cave. It was brilliant. And of course, what do we talk about, Chris?
Everything man.
Yeah, we talk about all men.
That was shorter
Yes,
than
we
you were
talk
expecting.
about our
I
menstrual
know.
cycles.
My bad.
And then, of course, occasionally we throw in the horror.
Beer, masks, music, cars. Pretty much, I think, everything, but we've narrowed down just the normal tropes. Just religion and politics need to just go out the window. Everything else, I think, is open
Pretty
season, right?
I mean, I'm better at talking about a lot of things that don't make sense or it's full of shit. Chris he's more knowledgeable about most of these subjects, so
Pretty good at it.
I bring in the yang or the ying or whatever. I don't know. It's up to people to decide on that. We've uploaded a few podcasts on our channel. It's a podcast since YouTube's doing it. Right now it is available through Apple, Podbean, iHeartRadio, and eventually many, many more. As we are learning this, some of them are stubborn about letting us be on their, channel or whatever you call it. But it takes time from what I've been told. Speaking of time, Chris, are you having fun learning your new equipment?
No, God, it's a pain in the ass. I'm not built for this life, I don't think. I seem to run into problems with every single thing I do. But it's fun. It's fun. At the same time, I like learning shit, so, it's all right with me.
And
I'm all right with it. I might fuck up every once in a while, but
that's why I had to bring it up.
it's okay.
Because in all seriousness, I try to do a little bit of this self-learning occasionally on some of our subject matters. Chris is like myself, and I'm sure you as well, if you're listening or watching this podcast. He's learning from, I don't want to say his mistakes because they're not his mistakes, but he's learning through trial and error. It's like, I always say that philosophy. He's learning he's learned how to ride a bicycle this past week. and he's stumbled and fallen a few times. But the good news is you could see him and you can hear him.
I swear to God, you were standing right next to me when I was having every imaginable problem under the sun. And I swear you were standing right there next to me, and I kept clicking shit, and somehow it resolved itself.
It's the
How the hell
same,
did that
Chris, if
happen?
I was driving my car and it was giving me issues. And since you're more mechanically inclined, I could literally somehow get it towed to your house, and then all of a sudden it would start operating properly.
See, I can't deal with that. It makes me want to take this whole thing and just throw it right
Well,
out the
there you
fucking
go,
window.
folks.
I mean, that
I
shit
mean, not
drives
only are
me
we trying to
nuts.
promote our new podcast channel, but this might be the
Oh.
very last episode.
I might rip all this shit fucking out and throw it right out of my fucking man cave.
So, if I have this, oops, no, I almost did something really foolish. I'm trying to shut down my emails, and I almost shut down Google. That would have been a major boo-boo there, but yeah, but the whole point of it is don't give up, folks. If you yourself decide that you want to start a podcast or your own YouTube channel and you're just learning this stuff and you're going through these little quirks, just don't give up on yourself. It's the same when it comes to the masks. And believe me, we talk a lot about the mask subject, and we will continue to talk a lot about masks. I'm going to continue to try to make sure that Chris does not give up. And if he does give up after I've learned how to do a few things, then I'm going to be having a sign up behind me looking for a partner in crime doing this podcast.
Help wanted.
But
We'll work for crackers. Or beer.
that didn't sound but you know what? I loved it anyways. Never mind.
Oh, Jesus. I wasn't even going there. Shit.
I just think, you know what? Let's just go. Let's just get past all that stuff. I don't want to dwell on technology issues, but I really think,
Oh,
hopefully a
It's a
year
happy
from now we
accident
can look
right
back at this and just really laugh our asses off about it, But yeah, I want to get to obviously what people like yourself, Chris, with this YouTube channel, the old YouTube channel of mine. If you are watching this for the first time with Chris and I, yes, Chris has one hell of a collection of Meyer masks behind him. He gets them all from independent artists, and him, of course, he's been painting. He's been rehauling some Trick or Treat Studios tots. We've been having a lot of fun with that as well. And we will discuss those, about our experiences with that. So if you are watching, wanting to dabble into that yourself, we'll discuss those issues. And hopefully, Chris, do you think we could get some guests on this podcast, from independent artists themselves?
I'm gonna keep pushing it for sure. I mean, I got a list. Definitely have a list of guys that I want on here. Man, some really cool people, man. I feel like I know most of your crowd probably already knows about them, but maybe we can take a step behind the mask in a sense, like not their mask making abilities, but like the person behind all that. What makes them tick? I'd like to get inside their brain, figure out what they like, what they're into, just to get to know the person. Because all these guys, I mean, we treat them like, I shouldn't say that. We act like they spit out machine masks, like tots or something like that. But they're just 9 times out of 10, they're just regular guys like the rest of us. They got families, they got all sorts of things going on, and maybe it might shed a little light on that.
And right now, if I was an independent artist, I'd be thanking you for that analogy right there, because, I know myself from recent years how I was just accidentally came across doing rehauls for others, and it got a little demanding. And I had like 10 minutes experience of that, Havoc. The guys that have been doing it for years, they truly would appreciate what you were just saying there. There's no doubt about it. So if you are listening, any of you independent artists, and you would like to get on here with Chris and I just to basically shoot the shit, please feel free to reach out to us.
That'd
I
be
will
fun.
leave the link in the description box on how you can contact us, and we'll go from there. Of course, like Chris mentioned, he's got a list there. He's going to try to do his best to contact, because I would love to talk to maybe some people who I've never met.
I had a point. Kind of trailed off there. Where was I going to go?
I'm good at distracting him all the time because I can't shut the hell up. While Chris is refreshing, and chances are it was mask related. If you are a huge fan of cars, any cars, basically Chris could definitely explain that so much better than what I can. I'm more experienced with looking at classic cars, but Chris is more of a specialty when it comes to that. So if you love that subject matter, we will be talking about that and be showing, definitely be showing some videos, hopefully here soon, about some of these car events that Chris goes to.
Were you planning on coming to the June
July.
or the
I've
July?
already got it down. In fact, I think the next
July?
podcast that's scheduled for this coming Thursday over on, Apple Podcast, iHeart, and of course, YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I have a date that's thrown up on there. July 22nd is your next event. So I'll be bringing the cameras and recording as much as I can to my ability of what's out there, because it'll be my first time. Of course, I'll be recording, trying my best not to drive Chris nuts, or maybe asking some guys a question, mainly, where the hell's that coffee at?
Yeah. I'll go get your coffee. Don't worry about that.
Yes. Masks, horror-related stuff. Music. Boy, did we touch base on music. I think we got 3 episodes already. It might be 2, but I'm thinking 3 for some reason. And man, Chris just really spoke from the heart about how he feels about music. So if you're a big music lover, we'll talk about music quite a bit on this channel as well.
All kinds, all genres. And if I can learn about new music, I am into that as well. I'm not as well versed in Van Halen as you are, so I'm definitely well open to any knowledge I can learn about that, because I know the man's a legend.
Yeah.
Totally open to that.
Yeah, I hope that we can get in different episodes where it's just a long subject matter about artists or musicians or whatever, or groups, and I'm sure that will happen. I got to thinking about something, since we are promoting our other YouTube channel, our podcast channel, Meet Us in the Man Cave. There is one other subject matter
Right.
about this. It's basically random shit. We talk about a lot of random shit on here too, on top of all those other subjects. And there's one particular subject, Chris, that I would like to talk to you about. And it's pretty much, I guess, related to horror. Horror. There you go. Everybody has their way of pronouncing it. You know what I went to go see earlier with my son today? I went to go see The Flash, this new release with The Flash. And I would be more than happy.
The huge controversy.
Tell you what, Chris, if you wouldn't mind me joining me over to the other YouTube channel. In other words, guys, if you want to hear my thoughts with no spoilers and possibly what Chris was thinking about, once you head on over to our other YouTube channel, Meet Us in the Man Cave, I'll be more happy to share my thoughts with no spoilers on The Flash. And the main reason why I'm saying no spoilers, because Chris, I should ask you right now, have you seen The Flash yet other than the trailers?
No, sir. Not at all. I'm really on the fence, man. That was a lot of controversy, and Ezra Miller, man, which is sad because, man, I was really looking forward to that movie.
I may surprise you on my thoughts and my feelings or my opinions when it comes to Ezra Miller, Michael Keaton, and a few others that, I'll mention over on Meet Us at the Man Cave.
See, that's another one we didn't even mention. I mean, regular movies. Yeah, we talk about horror. Of course, that's our first love, or our main love, but we love movies too.
So if you guys are into that stuff, check us out over there. Subscribe, of course. And we'll be doing so much more than just sitting on our asses here talking. I mean, we'll do live streams eventually. God knows what we'll stumble into.
Oh, God, I want to do that so bad.
I think we should get through these little quirks here first before we start doing the live stream.
Especially with my problems and my bumbling.
Well, Chris, I'm going to go ahead and take us over to our other YouTube channel, and links in the description box if you want to find us. And I'll definitely be continuing on this conversation over there. And for you others out there that's already subscribed to that YouTube channel, well, stick around because chances are you're going to hear my opinions about The Flash. It may surprise you.
Hey, Floor? Is it Floor or Thor? Hey, my name is Thor. You may recognize me from a few films, but I'm here not about that. I'm here to tell you, I'll bring the hammer down on you if you don't subscribe.
Meet us in the man cave.
Channel. Make sure you also hit the notification and like it too. Vote today.
Here we are, back where we belong. Oh, I'm sorry. Count us in again, Chris.
Oh shit, we don't have a countdown. My bad. Do the NASA and start shaking your chair for liftoff.
No, it sounds like my fat ass is breaking it when I do that. So here we are back where we belong, over on our YouTube channel. Meet us in the man cave. Now, if you have already been watching, you've been, I think we got 11 subscribers already. And if they're really into what we're doing, then you were right where you belong. And all of you other individuals out there that's been following for years, you're more than welcome to stay here, subscribe, because I'm going to be brutally honest with all of you guys out there. I'll be more focusing on creating this than my other channel. I've vented into that, but this is going to be my number one. Well, it's not mine. It's Chris. It's our channel, but I'm going to be more focused over here. So as much as we put already,
they're coming. They're coming. Don't worry.
That sounds like
reel them in, baby.
For your podcast. Rated X. That didn't even sound good. So, as I was saying, The Flash. I should ask you first, Chris. I just want to make sure, as I state this publicly, or ask, you have not seen it yet, correct?
Not at all.
And as a refresher, as you could state it better than what I can, obviously with the actor Ezra Miller, what is it? The issues are more or less have been about. I mean, I've learned and heard a little bit enough about it, but I figured since I've seen the movie, you know what? If you could please explain a little bit of the drama, I'm sure enough people out there know, but take it away, my friend.
And I hate the rumor mill, the he said, she said. I wasn't there. I don't know what the man did. I don't know. I only know what I've heard. And then at that point it's like, what? I don't know. Does it make me back away from certain properties and things like that? Maybe a little bit. Makes me more cautious, I guess. But man, I don't want to go into the specifics because I don't know what, I don't want to condemn the guy, but it wasn't good. I know that much. And it really hurt the property of the Flash, so much so that they were thinking about recasting him and trying to reshoot certain parts of the movie. And that's their main star. Anything with that much trouble and that many problems it has to be, I don't know, something to it. It has to be some sort of substance. But I don't know. I hate to pass judgment, I guess. Is that wrong, you think?
No, I don't think that's wrong at all. I mean, we definitely live in an era. I don't need to tell you or anybody else that's listening or watching. We have more of a means to express our opinion more so than ever for obvious reasons. Social media, anything from YouTube to
Right.
now TikTok. And I'll be honest, there's a YouTuber that I have followed more. It's really started about 2 years ago, I think. And he does like kind of like trending topics. I mean, let's put it this way, he has a couple others that's a part of his YouTube channel. It's called Planet Popcorn. And they were following the Johnny Depp, Amanda Heard trial. And when this Ezra Miller story started coming up, I mean, he was doing everything he could, and I really respect and enjoy this YouTube channel. But from the articles that he was reading, from the information, from like I want to say TMZ videos, I could be wrong about that. That Ezra Miller has not been the most respectful person here in the most recent years because of his behavior, of how he's treated women, younger women. I don't want to say certain things because I could be wrong because in other words, I don't even want to speculate on what just popped into my head because it's a very careful subject matter that I don't want to throw into it. But yeah,
That's where I'm at. It's like, I mean, if people are that interested and people want to know that much about it, I'd rather them go read it from a source. I'm not a source, you know. I don't want to spread false narratives and everything else, but it's a lot of negativity that came with that, and I don't know how much of that he perpetrated on purpose. Man, Hollywood's such a different world than we're used to, you know. I can't even imagine. Like somebody walks across my grass and I get mad. Like I can't imagine Hollywood, man. It's just
Hollywood is definitely. I mean, that's a subject matter all on its own. Trust me. I've been there more than a half a dozen times, and it's a shame how I absolutely love the history of Hollywood. But today, it's not even recognizable of even people that knew of it 5 years ago. It's just. But I guess I should get into my thoughts on the movie The Flash. This one that's obviously that just came out in the theaters here. What is today's date? The 16th. So I guess it came out yesterday. Usually they seem like movies come out on Thursdays anymore. Thursday evenings.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to say it like this without spoilers. As a whole, when it comes to DC movies, every time one that comes out, I'm hoping that it's a good film. I mean, then again, any film, I'm hoping that I'm sitting down to watch is a good film, of course. I mean, that's obvious, right? But DC, in my book,
Right.
I haven't been crazy about the majority of the films that they released. I mean, I don't know about how you feel about that, Chris, but I've just been disappointed in the majority of them.
See, I love
too.
Marvel. I mean, who doesn't love Marvel, right? Marvel's like the fantasy, the escape, you know, just a suit that, you know, can come out of a watch or a, you know, the bleeding edge technology, and it's just like it's a trip to another world. It's the fantasy aspect, but I feel like DC should really buckle down on the reality aspect, like they did with Joker.
Todd Phillips' Joker.
Yeah.
He's just an excellent director and writer,
He's-
period.
He's so good. He can do comedy, and then he can go the total opposite way. He's so good. But yeah, buckling down on the reality aspect. It's like Marvel's already doing what they're doing. Like, just leave it alone. You know, don't even try to compete with them. Don't even try to be that. Just like carve your own niche. Just leave it alone. So, I mean, if we're comparing like, I don't want to say Justice League, but if we're comparing like what they did with Joker, I loved Joker so much. It's like such a phenomenal film. Every little nuance to it, everything they did with it is just so good. I'm getting off on a tangent here, and I don't mean to, but what was your original question?
Your thoughts basically, on the DC films in general here lately. I mean, it obviously it kind of just like Marvel, you know, it's had its peaks of its ups and downs, but as we all think can agree, the past 20 some years, 25 years, I guess, really since Iron Man in 2008, we all started really, and you pretty much nailed it on the head.
I feel like Marvel is like this, has done this steady climb, and it's just plateaued
Yeah,
and it's
I think
fell off. And I feel like DC is now, everybody's kind of done with the Marvel
Yeah.
thing, I think. And I think they're looking at DC like, okay, step up. Like it's time for your rise.
Yeah, you pretty much
In a
stated it.
way.
I mean, Marvel, the characters, I mean, they're more relatable too. They were more humanized, which, yeah, it makes sense. I mean, Robert Downey Jr., Tony Starks, he was a human being, more relatable. I mean, and now Marvel is getting to more of the mutant aspect, the more supernatural. Like, is that the right way of putting it? Which I understand because in the comic books, I mean, if you're an X-Men fan, you know, obviously X-Men with Fox, that was before we got into this thing, but I mean, you're going to have to start getting into these more supernatural people or aliens and stuff like that. But yeah, DC for me, I mean, there's some of them that I've enjoyed, but when they did the Justice League, I think a lot of us were kind of like, there's some others.
I just have a question. Did you watch the
Yes, I
Snyder
did.
Cut?
The long ass version.
Yeah.
It's
what was
amazing
your
how
thoughts on
both of
that?
them almost seem like they're totally different movies. I really think they could have taken Snyder's cut and made it two parts, kind of like Trinity Wars and oh dear Lord, Endgames. When I
know.
watch a DC, sometimes it's just like, oh come on, I gotta go. But ironically, the Snyder cut, because I watched it on, well, now it's Max, I was able to pause it, but I found myself getting into it just how it was created. But anyways, I'm sorry to if you are wondering my
Yeah, we're
opinion
getting off.
on the Flash. I went into this doing my best not to think about Ezra Miller. The movie itself is over 2 hours long, and in all honesty, I enjoyed the hell out of this film. It was actually, and I didn't even prep Chris for this conversation on it. When you're talking about Marvel, this film felt like it was so much more well entertaining and well written, and I wasn't bored throughout the film. It starts off with a bang.
No
It starts
kidding.
off, I mean, it's an action film, so it's yeah, it's good in the
Damn.
beginning. I was just, and I hate, and I know if you're watching right now or even listening, and I can understand why if you are gonna ban watching this because of Ezra Miller, if you've been doing your due diligence on him, I understand why people are not enjoying him as a person. I gotta admit, he was pretty damn good in this movie. And I can understand why
See, I hate.
they
Damn.
couldn't take him out. And I'd have to give it away. But if you're Chris, after I would say, or everybody, if you're after about 30 minutes, you could see why it would have cost so much money to take him out, to reshoot it with I've heard a lot of people
Yeah.
talk about the rumor of the actor who plays the Flash on the television series. I mean, yeah, on the perfect world, that would have been great, but it would have been so weird for him to play the Flash in this movie because of other characters that are in this film.
I hate that. No, I hate that because you just said it. It's a
liked
good movie, and in real life, coming into it and screwing it all up, his choices are the only reason it's like that. Otherwise, it probably would have been I mean, and it still could be a blockbuster. I don't know. People probably maybe they may not care. They may go see it, but everybody probably would have enjoyed it and had less of a problem with enjoying it if he hadn't.
I'm telling you right
You
now,
know?
Chris, if this guy, his history was
Damn.
completely different, if he didn't have well, as we all pretty much know, if you've been following it, I'm telling you what, this film, it would have launched his, and it may still. I mean, I talked about Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. and I are about the same age. When back in the 80s, he was notorious for having problems with the law because of his drug habits and everything else. Lord knows, and he'd be the first one to tell you his history was not great in his younger years. But as Ezra Miller,
Right.
if he could turn his life around, this film and how his performance was in the film, is he really did have to take on quite a bit in this film. Like I said, if you're listening or watching right now, if you're so anti Ezra Miller, I get it. I do. But he was actually pretty damn good in this movie.
I mean, Justice League. I kind of enjoyed him in Justice League. That's why I was
He was the
kind of.
best part of it. I hate to say it, but he was.
That's why I kind of was a little bothered when I found out about the whole thing. Like, damn, that sucks.
If you're a
Why'd you
fan of
do
Michael
that?
Keaton's Batman, I
Oh,
think
God.
you will.
I am.
It's not Tim Burton Michael Keaton, but it does a pretty damn good job of trying to give. It's like saying, yes, we've got Michael Keaton as Batman, and he kicks some ass in this one. But it's got a little bit more of a.
That's
I don't want to say it because I know everybody has opinions about films. Because there's these more, yeah.
that's all I wanted.
There
all I
was an
wanted.
ending that surprised me, but I didn't stick around to the, how like typically with Marvel films, when you wait for the credits and is there a little Easter egg or whatever, I was like, you know what? Well, if I watch this
Right.
movie again, which I'm sure I will, because it will be available on Max, probably 6 months from now. Because I'll admit I stream more than I buy anymore because all the money that I spend on this stuff. I'll wait to see if whatever Easter egg was towards the end there. But yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I enjoyed the movie The Flash. It was I found myself laughing a lot, even at certain times that maybe they wanted me to laugh, and I was laughing. And it was Ezra Miller on his performance. I'm not trying to put him up on a pedestal. I'm just being brutally honest. And the acting in it was good from other characters as well. It was well written. It wasn't boring. Granted, there was one part, and this is me. It had nothing to do with the film. I am so terrible at sitting down, taking my mind off the real world, and sure enough, well, I did that at one part in the movie where I'm like, crap, this is kind of important right now. So, but I'll watch it again later. So that's my. So
that's
Chris,
all I wanted.
yes, if I would recommend that you'd see it.
You stay Michael Keaton. No, that's all I wanted. I just wanted him to do his Batman respect. I mean, he's so iconic in that suit. I mean, when they brought back the suit, I was just like,
You're going to hear some music, some
Yes.
soundtrack, some scoring that's going to be familiar. Ah, shit, that's a spoiler. God damn it. I'm sorry.
And now a few sobering words from our sponsor.
Are you a complete loser? Well, go open a can of Meet Us in the Man Cave beer. It friggin' tastes awesome. Drink responsibly. Only available at Bubba.
Subscribe today.
This movie itself, it did a good job of trying to explain the Flash, because in all honesty, if you're a comic book fan or if you don't know much, the Flash really has, out of all of the characters between DC and Marvel, the Flash has probably one of the most fascinating stories out of all of them. I recommend, if you're not bitter about Ezra Charles, I highly recommend this DC film probably over the majority of the DC films that's been out in the past 10 years. There are some good ones, but I'd say this is probably one of their best ones yet, honestly.
damn it, I didn't want to say anything, but it's Miller.
Ezra Miller, yeah. Hey, it was better than a certain film that was part of a trilogy from a certain Halloween franchise. Did I say that out loud?
Oh, God.
Yeah, don't go there. I'm
Don't go
supposed to be
there, no.
respectful about it now. That's what I said that in, I think, episode 1. But, people have their feelings on what they like and what they don't like. And I like this certain film more than the other. Chris, I'm looking at the time here. Is there
fair.
anything else that you could think of before I say goodbye to our lovely viewers?
Thanks for
Yes.
joining in.
And
I'll be seeing
I do
you.
apologize if you have been looking for us on Spotify, Google Podcast. I don't know why they're being stubborn. I'm just doing everything I'm being told. But I stated it earlier. We are available on Apple, iHeart, and Alexa. It's so funny. Amazon has their podcast, but for some reason they're being stubborn about us getting on there. But Alexa, right away.
Alexa's in charge.
Yeah,
of
and of course,
podcasts,
if you
so-
go to our website, we actually do have that website. Meet us in the man cave, which I'll have the links down there in the box too. I need to make sure I default all that stuff, and that basically tells you on our website what podcasts that are available. So there's so many of them out there, and I'm maybe butchering how you're supposed to properly call them because everything's podcast. I just want to say podcast network, if that makes any sense. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you are subscribing and help us out by doing what we do. And we'll try our best not to put you to sleep unless that's what you're coming here for. If it helps you fall asleep, let us know in the comment section.
Hey, we could do an ASMR episode.
That's true.
I've got 4 pit bulls upstairs. I could like have them heavy breathe on the mic or something.
I can do Nichols.